Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is going to be another quick lesson, especially as the semester is dwindling down. So this is about getting ready for the review of you. Now, the review of you is an essay that I'm going to ask you to write before you take your semester end review and your semester end exam. Believe it or not, you have been preparing for this all semester, so no need to fret. So this is what the actual assignment's going to look like. It says you have read a lot of different books, poems, and stories over this past semester. You've gotten insight on many different ideas and beliefs through all of these varied texts. Now is the time for you to pick the top two characters who best represent who you are as a person. This is the time for you to write about you and who you are through literature. Here are some of the guidelines. You need to pick two characters from any readings we have read this semester. You must show how you are best represented through these characters. You must include quotes from the text, one quote per person that you picked. And you have to be able to answer the question, how am I like these characters? Your response needs to be at least 2 paragraphs, 5 to 8 sentences each. So 5 to 8 sentences per paragraph. Okay, so that is the assignment. Now what? Now this lesson is not about how to write the review of you, the final one. At this point in the semester, you know how to write. What I am going to show you is how you can find yourself within the literature and what that looks like. When you do write the essay, please follow the directions. If you don't have direct quotes, like it says, you will not get full points. Okay, so here are the different steps. Just 4 of them. Find, think, connect, and relate. So you actually need to look. You need to be actively looking and reading the text. You need to look and understand the characters within the story. Then you need to think. You need to use your brain power here to think about the book or the story or the poem, whatever you choose. And you need to think about the different characters and who they are as people. Then you need to connect, like these little guys connecting the puzzle right here. This does involve more thinking, and they all kind of intertwine. You need to make a connection to the different characters, or just a character. Think, how am I like him or her? And more importantly, why am I like him or her? Then you're going to relate. This goes hand in hand with connection, but this is more or less where the typing comes into play. It is at this stage where you can relate yourself to a character. You fully understand that you and this character are similar. And you are able to show that in the actual text, just like these two are joining hands. And ignore my typo right there. So I'm going to show you an example, 2 different examples from 2 different texts. One of them is from Things Fall Apart. I relate to the character Enzima because her and I both have a different energy about us. We march to the rhythm of our own drum. This can be seen in Things Fall Apart. Enzima, unlike most children, called her mother by her name. She calls her mother by her name and not by any other respectful title, which was common at the time. I am like this because when I was young, I would call my mother by her first name. True story here. And I would like to challenge the different ideas of the norm and not be afraid to voice those. I have always liked to be a free spirit, much like Enzima. Okay, now this is just an example of how her and I are like each other, and I am using a direct quote to do so. Okay. Now, here is one from Animal Farm. Snowball is often a character that is portrayed as an idealist who wants to fight for what is right. In Animal Farm, he states, "Comrade," says Snowball, "those ribbons that you are so devoted to are the badge of slavery. Can you not understand that liberty is worth more than ribbons?" I am similar to Snowball in the fact that I believe in fighting for what's right, especially when it comes to what I believe are moral injustices. I've always fought for others' rights to be heard, much like Snowball, and will always. Now, I will put a disclaimer. I would write more about what I believe and give specific examples of that, but I will leave that out because I do not wish to share my political feelings with all of you guys, okay? And I'm not going to do that. But this is where I would add more information about what that is and kind of tie it back in Animal Farm. So those are just like 2 examples for you guys just to kind of understand what it is like to look at the characters, to think about them, to connect them, and to relate to them. So when you do go write this final product right here, okay, you do go and write this final essay before your semester end exams for this class, you guys kind of know how to approach it, and just so that you guys are thinking about it. Now, so here are some final thoughts. Begin to think about these characters throughout the semester that you can relate to. Start jotting them down. Look back through your lessons. Look back at even the assignments where I've asked you to do the same thing, if you've caught on to that, and pick your favorite two. Okay? And do your next the best few weeks and work really hard. Get caught up. If you need me, my office hours are from 1:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time to 2:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Thursdays. Also, the keyword is water for this lesson. So again, just as you prepare to write this final essay, just keep that in mind.